Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. Allow me to share with you some thoughts and updates on the cryptocurrency markets in general, and more specifically about XRP, which I will address at the beginning of the video. The creation of new XRP accounts, however, has accelerated significantly within the past few months. Also, I'd like to mention that, even though the crypto markets, led by Bitcoin, had a sharp decline on Sunday, there is still widespread belief that XRP will rally, maybe even this year to new highs in 2023. There's an article on the screen that confirms this expectation, so I'd like to touch on it briefly. However, this is also an option. Additionally, I come see articles similar to this one. The reason we can't have good things is because of this, I think. The Motley Fool has this. This is the amount you would have now if you had invested $1,000 in Ripple XRP 3 years ago. Oh my, we still have Ripple and XRP to finish in 2023. How is that possible? I can hear you sighing. I don't understand what's going on here, especially since it is allegedly credible now. I am not providing financial advice and have no prior experience in the field. Please understand this before we continue. No matter what I say, you should never put your money into anything. I'm simply a crypto enthusiast who loves to make movies on YouTube. That is, merely as a pastime and for enjoyment. As I am filming this video, XRP is trading at 61 cents per coin and Bitcoin is down to $41,196, which is slightly worse than it was 24 hours ago but still rather stable, down little more than 1% overall. Valuation of asset class, $1.56t, with a crypto fear and greed value of 65 out of 100. Therefore, it has been somewhat battered. But greed is still a problem, your greedy sob isn't going away. Additionally, in order to provide a general overview of XRP's recent affairs, the fact remains, though, that some people have been receiving it. I hesitate to say most, but I will say that it is noticeable. A large portion of the population has grown weary of the constant fluctuations in the price of XRP. That could seem like a lot more individuals than there actually are, but that's because, in my opinion, the weary folks simply spoke out more than the rest of us who aren't experiencing weariness. That is, at least, my assumption. But take a look at the recent events. This is over a relatively shorter time frame, so it's not really easy to observe. However, the figure you're viewing displays the total number of new XRP accounts activated since the period I chose at random. Well, I picked it kind of at random, but there's a good reason. Crypto has been seeing a massive upswing for the past couple of months, or so. Therefore, I selected a location in mid-October, coinciding with the beginning of that phenomenon. The number of new XRP accounts has been moving up, which is something to keep an eye on because it's definitely a measure worth following. If you examine it carefully, you will notice that there are some extreme outliers on the negative side, as well as some extreme outliers on the positive side. Yet it has nearly quadrupled. To illustrate this point, 1,135 new XRP accounts were created on October 15th. The trend has been rising for 2 months, hasn't it? Let's go back to yesterday, December 12th, the last full day that we had 21,151 new accounts registered. You can feel the attention, can't you? It's almost twice as much. There are almost twice as many accounts as before. The market has not experienced any significant downturns either. However, there have been substantial gains. Please review the following dates: November 6, 2593, and November 22, 3277, as they pertain to the creation of accounts. Additional 3524 accounts were added on December 8th. Look, I'm simply bringing this up because it's impossible to predict XRP's future using just one measure. All I'm trying to say is that this is really good for you. Examine the behavior of the price action. As an example, XRP. Since it is straightforward and quite similar, I will place the 90-day trial here. It is evident from the price motion that XRP is following the market's direction. However, additional signs are highly encouraging and showing signs of intensification. In your opinion, what will happen when Bitcoin finally gets some good news? In your opinion, what will happen in the end? As soon as we reach market euphoria? That one? From where I'm standing, it's obvious that some folks are still trying to establish themselves. That much is obvious. When this thing goes, it will go like that. It's crystal clear that more and more people are getting into XRP. So, yes, I can see that folks are tired in the near term, but I'm not. Seriously, though, I'm just going to be myself, and this whole situation isn't bothering me in the slightest. Posting here from a trustworthy crypto source. In addition, he uploaded this video, and I will briefly outline the arguments I was going to present in response. This is the latest development since yesterday, in case you were wondering. Additionally, he is currently on the road, but he is adamant that we will not descend below. Although he does not consider the possibility of paying $40,000 for Bitcoin to be inconceivable, he does not believe that this is the most likely scenario by a significant margin. View his video if you're interested in the technical analytical explanations. Look for it on social media site X. On the other hand, he did mention that he is currently anticipating that we will not stop at $50,000 when this thing rips. He believes we will surge above that level of resistance, instead, up to around $60,000 for Bitcoin. No. In your opinion, how will that impact the rest of the situation? To this day, I still see individuals acting selfishly. When I glance around, I notice that some people are worried, but it's far from the majority. However, for some, this is simply the norm. They see it as an inevitable part of being involved in the cryptocurrency industry. That's what I've been viewing. Such situations are not new to me. So far, I've spent 6 years immersed in the cryptocurrency industry. Right now, this is not strange in any way. We may hope and expect XRP to perform the things it says it will do. Indeed, that is the case. Also, there is no rationale for why you should be scared of this. I am looking forward to this moment. Reason being, we appear to be about to reach euphoria, and it won't be long now. Since we reached our all-time high for Bitcoin in 2021, 2 years ago, XRP has gained legal clarity, and as XRP holders, we've never been closer. Although XRP did rise in tandem, it failed to set a new record. Its legs were bound. This is due to the ridiculous SEC case. We no longer possess that. We will, in fact, see it when it runs. And if it fails this time, I will be worried and begin to question, without fresh proof, what the fuck is wrong with XRP? That time, though, is not now. At this moment, everything that has transpired is crystal clear. Next, there came the post from the blockchain supporter. He has recently provided Consumer Price Index, CPI, updates. He mentioned that November data were announced today. And he noted that the anticipated value was 0%, as well as the prior month's 0%. And there was a real rise of 1%. Next, we will discuss the rate of inflation. In other words, it's still not too far off from the predicted. In terms of year-over-year consistency, it's bang on. He pointed out that 3.1% was the anticipated increase. The actual figure came to 3.1%. Therefore, the Fed's response is the most crucial factor, in my opinion. And the general consensus now is that they won't be engaging in quantitative easing just yet, that is, raising or, more accurately, lowering interest rates. The Federal Reserve has been reacting to, or is starting to do, things in order to promote more economic activity, so historically speaking, a drop in interest rates portends trouble ahead. This is in reaction to other indicators that suggest the economy is in a bad place. Thus, it's not the cuts per se that are problematic, rather, it's their reaction to other metrics and other negative real-world situations that cause them to act. It is exactly that. As a result, everyone is assuming that we will have to wait a while, maybe more than 6 months, before we see this. It would make me very happy if that were the case, because then I'll be watching things very carefully and maybe even worried. However, we are not observing that. The stock market is currently behaving in a very directed manner. It's doing exactly what it should be doing. If you're interested in this topic, and I have no doubt that many of you are, you should subscribe to Backer's channel. Still, it seems like the answer is yes. On a scale from 1 to 10, I would rate this as a 10. That's my point, dude. A chart analyst named Will Clementi also contributed to this. I should have mentioned that Clementi isn't like a TA man on the chain analysis team while we were working together for more than 7 years. He does, however, find it astounding that, on its own, more than 70% of Bitcoin's supply has remained unchanged for at least a year. Considering that this occurred just 1 year after FTX's decline and that Bitcoin has increased in value by nearly threefold since then makes it all the more bizarre. And I must confess, that is rather astounding. We are where we are because, this is the result because of that. So this is what you can anticipate. It follows logically. Every time you go through a market cycle, you reach a new pinnacle, just like Mark. Even when looking at a very long period, say a decade, there are still higher highs and lower lows. The market is extremely volatile, though. For this reason, as I mentioned in a recent video, the crypto industry has never before seen a euphoria stage, and XRP is set to join it. At this price point, it has entered a new plateau. Years ago, when the market was hot, XRP was trading at around 20 cents before it began to run. So, it's plainly extremely obvious. And that was in the year 2020. Its price was 20-odd cents. This is where we will begin. Unless the entire globe comes crashing down, there is little indication that it will return to 20 cents anytime soon. Do you realize this? Therefore, rather a beginning in a weaker position of 20-something cents, it is currently over 60 cents. Yes, it is significantly lower than what it would have been without the SEC's intervention. Without a doubt, yes. All day long, we will agree on that. Although it remains elevated. By the time it moves, it's heading in the right direction, my goodness. Because of this, I feel compelled to express my disapproval of the current state of affairs in our community. I simply cannot understand why people here are so easily discouraged by the short-term price action. To me, it just doesn't add up. Wow, that's just stunning. If there were any need to be worried, I would just like to inform you that when the market does reach its inevitable peak, I will be the first to admit it, and I will also be the first to sell when the time comes. However, at this very moment, I am completely fearless. So, this is what the motley fool has to say. I will make an effort to keep this brief. However, if you were to invest $1,000 in Ripple XRP, as previously stated in the headline, this is the amount you would have had 3 years ago. Sure, I guess. They aren't even required to read it, in my opinion. Still, I considered ripping it to shreds, because of how ridiculous it is. It bears repeating that this is a renowned and trustworthy outlet, what the motley fool is. Here in the mainstream media, this is a well-known name. And right now, that is what they're discussing. When major news outlets begin covering cryptocurrency, it happens occasionally. I think it's adorable. By confusing Ripple with XRP, you clearly have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea if it's a coincidence. This situation, however, is specific. Maybe they're naive and thinking nothing of it. I get it. But I really hope it wasn't deliberate. But you're considering a $1,000 investment with the possibility of an 18% return after 3 years. Well, that's $180. According to their reporting, that is exactly what happened. However, this article serves no use. It becomes irrelevant. I mean, you're just picking a time point at random. So, you may choose a month, say, October, and then look 3 years later, in October? October is when I will be able to check. October and 2020 are on its all-time chart. How much was it? What is XRP? The price was probably closer to 20 cents before it began to run. Am I correct? Yes, I am ready. It wavered a little bit, that's all. To that end, it could be 2120 coins. Yes, it's just that everything is new. In that case, your lead would have been several hundred points. Changing the target date by a few months is effectively the same thing. If you so desire, you can depict any story you like. However, that is one reason why it is foolish. Second, and this is the most ridiculous reason of all, Ripple was sued by the SEC, effectively suing XRP holders. Had the same overall effect, didn't we? We were all hurt by it. Could that be the reason? If so, then yes. Be a motley fool, that is correct. Who is the author of these pieces? Oh, please. If you're not well versed in crypto and are just trying to educate yourself, you might find this interesting. However, it doesn't provide any useful information or insight, so it's not helping. Not at all. For some reason, making fun of it helps me feel better, so I will do that. It's not bad at all. This is an idiotic stupid. However, as I mentioned earlier, XRP. But when this thing goes, it will go, period. It is unbridled. Also, we'll need to discuss the wall again if it doesn't locate it. But if you feel the need, come to Jesus now. We haven't seen all of the reasons, though. Even though the law was clear, it stayed put this summer for a reason. Its price did, in fact, nearly double in a few short hours. It stopped running, though. Reason being, XRP can't run historically unless Bitcoin reaches new all-time highs. What does this mean for those hoping for a new all-time high in XRP? Well, according to his interpretation of past events, we shouldn't have anticipated that, plus, nothing came of it. Therefore, that also shouldn't raise red flags. Now, though, if it doesn't work, that's okay. Without further information, which I currently lack, I am unable to fathom what the alternative would be if it doesn't go now. I would be worried, yeah. The market as a whole seems to be moving in lockstep, though, so I'm not sure why that is. It's for this reason that I insist on stressing the importance of being excited rather than scared. I am enjoying this. Now is when cryptocurrency is at its peak. That's not my area of expertise. Regardless of what I say, you shouldn't make any purchases or sales. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.